here we are, folks. The end to one of the greatest fantasy series of all time, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And I count part 1 and part 2 as 2 movies. I'm not doing any of that. Wait next year for part 2 things. No. The Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is one movie, and that's what I'm going to review. And it's a long movie, so let's get started with the epic conclusion of Harry Potter. We start off in the Ministry of Magic, where we see the Minister of Magic talk to the magical community about the threat of Voldemort.
But I say this to our citizenry. We, ever your servants, will continue to defend your liberty and repel the forces that seek to take it from you.
Magical George W. Bush, I see.
Spoken like a true politician.
We then go to Hermione's house, where none of the pictures in the Daily Prophet are moving like they should be, but whatever. Oh, and Hermione does just about the stupidest freaking thing ever. In fact, this scene is so stupid that I have to go right ahead into my own mini round and count down the top 7 reasons of how stupid Hermione's plan is. So here we go. 7. Will none of Hermione's parents' friends ever realize that she's gone? She isn't erasing any of their other memories. Are her parents really the only muggles that she knows? 6. When other muggles discover she's gone, I'm sure they're gonna call the police. Nice job, Hermione. You're missing and your parents can't even remember that you ever existed. Brilliant. 5. Why even erase their memories in the first place? Just tell them that you have to go because you're saving the world from freaking Lord Voldemort. 4. What if her parents just so happened to turn around and see her after she erased their memories? How awkward would that have been? 3. Why is she walking down the street to church or something after she erases their memories? 2. Why is she walking down the street in the smack dab middle of it as she walks away? Way to call attention to yourself. 1. When she erases their memories, all of the pictures of her disappear. Nice idea, but you have to realize that with Hermione gone, her parents now own several pictures of blank walls. Anyways, we cut to Snape going to a Death Eater meeting.
Severus, I was beginning to worry you had lost your way. Come, we've saved you a seat.
Saved him a seat for what? Was someone else going to come and take it? So after Voldemort takes Lucius Malfoy's wand, he talks about a captured Hogwarts teacher that's there with them.
To her, the mixture of magical and muggle blood is not an abomination, but something to be encouraged.
Severus, please. We're friends.
This is what you get for taking my sandwich out of the refrigerator in the teacher's lounge. Also, the Dursleys have left home, so Harry and all of his friends can help him hide from Voldemort. Mad-Eye Moody has everyone turn into Harry, even though it would be much safer to turn Harry into someone else, but whatever. Oh, and also, Hermione turning into Harry is just about the scariest friggin' thing ever. They all fly off, but are ambushed by Death Eaters. I guess none of the muggles in these scenes are going to report that a giant in a motorcycle flew out of the sky and almost killed them. Another thing to note in this scene is that Hedwig has the most unnecessary death ever. Harry never even feels sad for her or anything after she dies. It's just, whoops, she died.
No!
Slowly but surely, everyone makes it to the burrow, including Mr. Weasley, who just apparates there. So why didn't they all apparate there? Oh, and it looks like George got hit in the ear with a spell.
How are you feeling, Georgie?
Saint-like.
Come again?
Saint-like. I'm holy. I'm holy, Fred. You get it?
Hey, remember that time Ron had to dance with McGonagall at the Yule Ball practice? The next day, Ron's older brother Bill and Fleur Delacour are getting married, so we see everyone get prepared for the big event. It's a happy wedding, but suddenly a Patronus from Kingsley Shacklebolt comes in to warn everyone of impending doom.
The ministry has fallen. The minister of magic is dead.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione all apparate away into downtown London, where again, no muggles question why 3 people just appear out of midair. And also, holy crap! How much money do you think Samsung had to pay for that little tie-in? Anyways, our three heroes have the amazing idea, hey, we were almost killed by Death Eaters, so let's go get some coffee. What do you know, some Death Eaters show up, and after a short fight, the waitress at the coffee shop just runs away, and our heroes stay to wipe the Death Eaters' memories. I guess she's not going to call the cops or anything, so whatever. After that, they go to the headquarters for the Order of the Phoenix and find a room with the name Regulus Black on it. They just assume that because he has the same initials as the guy who has the Horcrux, he must be the same guy who has the Horcrux. Of course! Oh look, the Hogwarts Express. Sure is a good thing the conductor can see Count Dooku standing on the track. Back at the headquarters, Dobby shows up! Dobby! I haven't seen you since the second movie, even though you were in the 4th, 5th, and 6th books. They learn from Mundungus Fletcher that he sold the real Horcrux to Dolores Umbridge, so it's time to sneak into the Ministry of Magic to steal it back. The three drink Polyjuice potions to disguise themselves as random Ministry workers, and apparently Ron is disguised as a guy whose wife is a suspected Muggleborn and is awaiting trial downstairs.
Oh my god. What am I gonna do? My wife's all alone downstairs.
Ron, you don't have a wife.
Oh, and it also sure is lucky Umbridge showed up in their elevator just as they were talking about her. Anyways, Harry is able to steal the locket, and after a thrilling escape, they apparate to a forest where Ron is injured, but that doesn't stop them from trying to destroy the Horcrux anyway. Yeah, how come that fire isn't catching to the leaves?
Don't. It comforts him.
It sets my teeth on edge.
Who says that?
Take it off. I said take it off now.
Harry and Hermione talk about what to do next.
Ron isn't strong enough to apparate.
Oh yeah, it's too dangerous for Ron to apparate, but it's perfectly fine for him to wander around across Great Britain. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm still here. But you two carry on. Don't let me spoil the fun.
Oh great, Ron's getting upset for no good reason again. It's like Goblet of Fire all over again.
Don't know why I listen to that radio every night, dear. To make sure I don't hear Ginny's name. Or Fred, or George, or Mum.
What, you think I'm not listening too? You think I don't know how this feels?
No, you don't know how it feels! Your parents are dead!
What? Harry's parents are dead? Ron apparates away, leaving Harry and Hermione alone in the tent. The next day they decide to put a scarf on a tree in remembrance or something. Oh yeah, we might need that scarf in the future, but I guess we'll just leave it out in that tree in memory of Ron or something. Anyways, I guess the filmmakers decided that the one thing this movie was missing was an awkward dance scene. Therefore, we have an incredibly awkward dance scene. After that, Harry's screwing around with a snitch that Dumbledore left him in his will.
Hermione? Hermione, you were right. Snitches have flesh memories, but I didn't catch the first snitch with my hand. I almost swallowed it.
I guess Hermione can't realize that what he means by that is that he put it in his mouth. Hermione herself has also discovered something important.
At first I thought it was an eye, but now I don't think it is. It isn't a rune. and it isn't anywhere in Spellman's syllabary. Somebody inked it in. It isn't part of the book. Somebody drew it.
Luna's dad was wearing that at Bill and Fleur's wedding.
How could you remember that? That's like me remembering the color of someone's tie at Thanksgiving. It's now Christmas time. The two decide to go to Godric's Hollow to see the grave of Harry's parents.
I still think we should have used Polyjuice Potion.
No. This is where I was born. I'm not returning as someone else.
Oh, hey, look, there's a Death Eater hiding behind that garbage can. After that, though, Harry and Hermione end up back camping in the forest when Harry sees the Patronus of a doe, and of course decides to follow it. Unfortunately, the doe leads him to a lake and not this.
Chaos reigns.
But seriously, folks, Harry sees the sword of Godric Gryffindor, which can destroy Horcruxes at the bottom of the lake. He then decides to take off his clothes, crack the ice, and dive under the water to get it. Is there really no such thing as a spell that can make water warmer? Or why don't you just shoot fire into the water to warm it up a little bit? But it's okay. Ron shows up at just the right moment and at just the right place to save Harry. The two then decide that the time is ripe for destroying the Horcrux, where quite possibly the most unexpected thing in the history of film happens. I remember seeing this scene in the movie theater and literally standing about in my seat yelling at the screen. This scene is so mind-boggling, so confusing, that like Hermione's plan, it needs its own little mini-round. These are the top 10 things wrong with this.
Holy shit!
Number 10. The scene with Ron imagining Harry and Hermione having sex was not in the book at all. Him having a scary vision, yes, that was in it. But why on earth did the filmmakers decide that Harry and Hermione having sex was necessary? Number 9. Why is the CGI so terrible when they're having sex? 8. Why are they cheating us out of seeing Emma Watson completely naked? Number 7. Why is the music so scary here? Why not replace it with... Number 6. Why are they naked? I mean, if they really need to be in love, why not just have them kiss? That wouldn't be good, but it would be a lot better than this. Number 5. How did J.K. Rowling think of this scene? Number 4. Can Harry not see what Ron is seeing? Because he doesn't seem to make any mention of it. Number 3. How come this dark and evil magic is so PG-13? You'd think Voldemort's soul would go all the way with the nudity, don't you think? Number 2. Why do they need to make out for an entire 30 seconds? Number 1. I don't even know what to say. So anyways, Ron destroys the Horcrux and he and Harry return to the camp where Hermione isn't too happy at all.
You complete hard-boiled Weasley! You show up here after weeks and you say, hey?
Not sure I deserve that.
After Ron starts sucking up for 20 minutes, some snatchers show up and start chasing our heroes in a pretty exciting but completely unnecessary chase scene. Why is it unnecessary? Well, let's take a look. Oh, look, the snatchers caught them.
What happened to you, ugly? No, not you. What's your name?
Bob.
So the Snatchers take the trio to the Malfoy house, where Bellatrix has Draco take a good look at Harry, who's disguised by a stinging spell to distort his face.
I can't be sure.
Look closely, son.
You're like 10 feet away from him.
What is that? Where'd you get that from?
It was in her bag when we searched her. Reckon it's mine now.
So the boys go down to the dungeon, leaving Bellatrix to torture Hermione.
That sword is meant to be in my vault of Gringotts. How did you get it? What did you and your friends take from my vault?
Ugh, why is Helena Botham Carter so obnoxious in these movies? I bet Hermione wasn't even supposed to cry in the script. I think Emma Watson is really just that freaked out with Carter's performance. But luckily, Dobby shows up to break everyone out of prison. And that's why Dobby's one of my favorite characters. But of course, to make things dramatic, Dobby has to die. Meanwhile, Voldemort shows up at Hogwarts to steal the Elder Wand, the most powerful wand in the world, from Dumbledore's tomb. So anyway, Harry, Hermione, Ron, Luna Lovegood, Ollivander, and Griphook are all at Ron's brother's house.
It's beautiful here.
It was our aunt's. We used to come here as kids. The Order uses it now as a safe house.
Which is why there are no other Order members here. Harry decides that he needs to talk to Griphook the Goblin about the Sword of Gryffindor.
How are you?
Alive.
Huh, sounds like me when I come home from school every day.
How did you come by this sword?
It's complicated. Why did Bellatrix Lestrange think it should be in her vault at Gringotts?
It's complicated.
Oh, snap! But Griphook will only help the three break into Gringotts Bank if he can have the sword after they steal a Horcrux. So instead of just telling him why they need the sword and that they'll let him have it when they're done saving the freaking world, they decide to just blindly agree with him. I mean, I know goblins can be hard to deal with, but don't you think he'd understand if you told him the entire world was at stake? Hermione luckily happens upon one of Bellatrix's hairs and uses it to make Polyjuice Potion.
Well, how do I look?
So I guess the Polyjuice Potion only disguises your looks and not your voice. They all go to Gringotts where they're having some trouble with security.
Would you mind presenting your wand?
And why should I do that?
It's the bank's policy. I'm sure you understand, given the current climate.
No. I most certainly do not understand.
I'm afraid I must insist.
But don't you have Bellatrix's wand with you? Just give it to him, you idiots! But they manage to get in anyway, and whoa! I have to say, the train tracks at Gringotts have certainly been upgraded since Sorcerer's Stone, don't you think?
Vault 687.
But unfortunately, they come across a trap which washes off the Polyjuice Potion and apparently also drops you to your death unless you quickly prevent it. I guess Gringotts will never want to question people who break in, they just want to kill them right away. After walking around a bit, the group comes across a dragon who's guarding the more secretive vaults.
It's been trained to expect pain when it hears the noise.
That's barbaric.
Oh yeah, Hermione's an animal rights activist. Anyone else remember that from the 4th book? Well, Griphook takes the sword, they get the Horcrux, and they all break out on the back of a dragon.
That was brilliant! Absolutely brilliant!
Yeah, I'm sorry I abandoned you guys for 4 months. Whoa, holy unnecessary shirtlessness there, Harry. And I thought the One Direction movie had too much of that. Voldemort then discovers that Harry is after Horcruxes, so he kills every goblin in Gringotts. And apparently now AVADA KEDAVRA makes you bleed to death, even though that's never happened in any of the other movies. Neville Longbottom then breaks the crew into Hogwarts through a secret tunnel.
They like punishment, the Carrows.
They did that to you? Why?
Today's dark arts lessons had us practicing the Cruciatus Curse on first years. I refused. Hogwarts has changed.
Yeah, with Mad-Eye Moody's defense against the dark art teacher, you'd only practice the Cruciatus Curse on each other. Snape now knows that Harry's in the school, so he gathers everyone up to try and find him.
I invite them to step forward. Now.
It seems, despite your exhaustive defensive strategies, you still have a bit of a security problem, Headmaster. I'm afraid it's quite extensive.
Sure is a good thing no one's gonna try to stun him or anything. Oh, and also they got all of these order members within minutes, and they all rehearsed, so they came into the hall just at the right time. Great. After Snape runs away, Voldemort sends messages into everyone's minds, much to the distress of some girls. Shut up! But the school must now prepare for battle.
Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries. Protect us. Do your duty to our school.
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Well, there goes all the epicness of that scene. Hey, Fred. Remember when Ron had to slow dance with Professor McGonagall and we told Harry we would never let him hear the end of it? Oh yeah, those were good times. Ron and Hermione then decide to go to the Chamber of Secrets to get a basilisk fang to destroy the Horcrux.
Harry talks in his sleep. Have you noticed?
No, of course not.
Okay, I'm not going to bother explaining that myself. I'm just going to show you a clip from another review. I'm going to put the link to it in the description. And while I don't agree with these guys at all, I think it's a very good review. Here.
Then there's this issue of getting into the Chamber of Secrets. Last time I checked, you had to be a Parselmouth to command the chamber to open. But it's okay, Rowling says that Ron remembered when Harry said the word open in Parselmouth in the middle of the book when he was trying to get the locket to open. So okay, that's fine. Oh, but wait, no, it's not. You see, you can't learn Parseltongue. It's a magical language that is only spoken by a select few wizards. Don't you think that if you could learn it, the Ministry would be teaching classes on it so people could keep snakes off of their backs? Also, Ron hears Harry say this one time, and he is under extreme stress and pressure at that point. There's no way in hell he would have remembered that.
Ron and Hermione head down there, and for some reason when they destroy the Horcrux, it makes a bunch of water come out. And then after they're almost killed by an enormous wave, they now find it appropriate to kiss. But the Death Eaters have broken through the school's magical shield and are able to come in, but for some reason none of the teachers who made the shield before ever bothered to try and cast new shields to stop any further Death Eaters.
Bloody hell, we'll never find it on this.
There he is. Just there.
Brilliant.
He just vanished. Just now I saw it.
Maybe he's gone to the room of requirement. It doesn't show up on the map, does it? You said that last year.
That's right, I did.
Let's go.
Dialogue! To find the second to last Horcrux, they all sneak into the room of requirement, but are caught by Draco Goyle and a black guy who isn't Crabbe. During this chase scene, I think Ron tells the greatest one-liners of all time.
Ah! That's my girlfriend, you numpty! He's joking, right? If we die for them, Harry, I'm gonna kill you!
Shut up. After the second to last Horcrux is destroyed by the fire, the three head to the Shrieking Shack and overhear a conversation between Voldemort and Snape. After Voldemort attacks and leaves, Harry runs to Snape's aid, where Snape begins crying out memories. Unfortunately, he only gives Harry the memories he has of his mom and not the memories of what he needs to do later that day.
Hello, Alan Rickman. It's Alan Rickman. Reminding you to move the pork chops from the freezer to the refrigerator so they defrost properly. Do not disappoint me. Alan, it's me again. Remember that turtle joke for the party.
But seriously though, Alan Rickman, you are awesome. Why do you not have an Oscar for this movie? So after getting Snape's memories, the three head back to school. Hey guys, we were fighting. How did the battle go? Harry heads off to Dumbledore's Pensieve to see what Snape's memories are all about. We see Harry's mom, Lily, as a young girl talking to a young Snape. So wait, is that tree magical? Just because there are wizards nearby doesn't mean that the trees around them are magical. Aw man, Harry was one fat baby. But seriously though, I just need to point out that this memory sequence is incredibly moving and I actually feel like I'm on the verge of tears here. Oh, there, you did it. I'm crying. Can Alan Rickman please get an Oscar nomination for this? After he's done with the memories, Harry learns that he himself is actually a Horcrux and therefore needs to die before Voldemort can be killed. He also finds the answer to that riddle on the snitch.
I'm ready to die.
Still sounds like me when I come home from school every day. But after he says that, the snitch opens to reveal the Resurrection Stone, which I must say looks a lot more like a pebble than a stone, don't you think? So Harry confronts Voldemort, ready to die. Okay. Ray Fiennes, Schindler's List, awesome. Grand Budapest Hotel, awesome. This, you probably should have asked the director if you could do that again. AVADA KEDAVRA! 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 But after Voldemort kills Harry, he's transported to the place where they shot tennis balls at Dwayne Johnson. Ugh, looks like an old chicken wing that's been left in the fridge for a few days. Oh, and Dumbledore shows up too.
I've always prized myself on my ability to turn a phrase. Words are, in my not-so-humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it.
Long story short, kids, read the books. Harry then comes back to life, I guess, and Voldemort sends Draco's mother over to see if he's alive or not because he doesn't want to go and check himself or anything. Man, that was a crazy party last night. Oh, and Voldemort can use the Force now, too. Harry stands up, though, ready to confront Voldemort. But here's an idea. Why doesn't Harry, or anyone for that matter, stun Voldemort, lock him up in Azkaban, and then try and torture him out of revealing where the other Horcruxes are, so that you can destroy them, and then execute him? You gotta use your frickin' brain sometimes! So as Harry and Voldemort fight, the battle resumes at Hogwarts, where probably the most famous scene from the movie happens.
Not my daughter, you bitch!
Yeah, that was pretty cool, but me personally, I think there were several other lines that would have been better suited for this scene.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, and Voldemort just decides to start beating Harry up instead of killing him. Really? Come on! Avada Kedavra him and get it over with! Oh, finally, the final battle between the boy who lived and the Dark Lord. But wait a minute! Oh my god! Voldemort doesn't have a nose! So after that we get the famous epilogue, which I have to admit is right up there with the Grey Haven scene from Lord of the Rings when it comes to sad yet happy endings. So that was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and even though I made fun of it a lot, it really is the best movie in the series. Well, there you have it, folks. That's my review of all of the Harry Potter movies. I'm just saying, these movies, and especially the books, are just so magical, no pun intended. It always breaks my heart to finish rewatching or rereading the series. Now I just don't know what to do anymore. I need to do something for this series. This series of books and movies is just so amazing, so groundbreaking, that I need to do something to properly tribute it like it deserves. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I'll see you all later with Tammy and the T-Rex. Christ.